of a team you think is undervalued? I think it's Denver. So they drafted an edge rusher. That is an area of need.
It shouldn't come as much of a shock. Bo Nix is either going to be the Denver Broncos starting quarterback or the immediate backup, not the emergency guy some people were talking about. In the three-man race for the Broncos starting job, between rookie Nix, Jarrett Stidham, and veteran newcomer Zach Wilson, Nix will finish first or second. And I've heard so many people saying there is no doubt this will be a playoff team come the end of the season. But I personally don't want to get too ahead of myself. I think this team is going to be pretty good. They definitely have a super high ceiling, but it's not even training camp yet. So we all just need to slow down on some of the hype and let things play out. In this video, I'm going to be talking everything Broncos, what's been going on as of late, and what they need to do to have a successful season. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We're on the road to 30k subscribers, and with your support, I believe we can get there super fast. Alright. So because head coach Sean Payton will have the final say in who gets to be the starting quarterback for this team, that leads me to believe that it will end up being Nix sooner rather than later. Again, Stidham is the best option at quarterback for the Broncos right now, but a lot can change between now and the end of the season. Nix was drafted number 12 overall because he was so pro-ready. At least that's what you would think. I want to go over some of the film and break down what Nix was able to do in college to see if he truly is pro-ready, or if he needs to sit back and watch and learn before being thrown out into the wild. So first off, starting with this play right here, this right off the bat shows his ability to throw the deep ball accurately to his receiver in stride. I know every NFL QB has to be able to make this play, but there are some that struggle with the deep ball. This is especially a good throw considering the pressure coming at him, but that was a pretty easy touchdown for Oregon. Next here, this is just an impressive play all around for Bo, just from the awareness alone, because many guys would have given up on this one after seeing nothing develop. Initially, he's looking to run for the touchdown, but the D-line gets to him super fast, and just as he is about to be wrapped up, he slings it to his receiver, who falls into the end zone for a touchdown. I know in the NFL things are different, and stuff like this doesn't always work, and sometimes it can backfire, but I just think Bo is a different kind of QB that isn't afraid to take the risk. Moving on, here is some of that mobility on display, which is a very underrated part of his game. And his ability to know when to take off is above average as well. As you can see here, as soon as he realizes there is going to be no one open but sees daylight in front of him, he immediately takes off, and with great blocking, he is able to get into the end zone untouched. Those are just a few of his many highlights from last season, but I think they show that he is ready for the big stage. And even if that doesn't mean starting right away, I think by the end of the year, he will be seeing significant time on the field. So Nix needs to be given every opportunity to prove that he can be the week 1 starter. His upside is greater than Stidham's, but honestly not by much because I really like that guy as well. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this whole situation. Anyways, moving on from that, I am a big believer in Sean Payton, and I just think he has gotten some unfair criticism over the last couple of years. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But we can't sit here and act like he has had good QB play to work with. And Payton recently had comments about a right guard that he recently has been falling in love with. Broncos right guard Quinn Miner really got some attention from the national eye following a terrific 2023 campaign in which the 25-year-old was touted among the game's best interior blockers. The little-known Wisconsin Whitewater alum is recognized in the past more for his style than his substance. He blossomed into the Broncos' secret superstar. He was sort of an unsung hero, and by his own account, an egregious Pro Bowl snub. For the right reasons, Miner's name now carries weight as it populates league circles. A positive development for both him and the team. I thought he had a really good year, Broncos head coach Sean Payton said last month. I remember when he came out of college, and when a player went to the AFC, maybe you lose track a little bit, I thought he played exceptionally well. Certainly, he's a powerful, sticky run blocker. He does a lot of things extremely well. I think he loves it. He loves the process, which is half the battle. So I love that he's our right guard. And for the guy that he will be blocking for, Javonte Williams is also one of the most underrated running backs in the league. And I'm not saying that just to say that. When you hear his name, the last thing that comes to your mind is a star, unless you are like super into football and know everything about the game. But I will say, Javonte is entering a critical make-or-break campaign in 2024. It's been a roller coaster of a career for him, and he is slated to play out the final year of his contract. It's truly sink or swim for Williams' tenure as a Bronco this season, but really, the reason for all of this is injuries. I know every NFL player deals with injuries at some point in their career, but he had a devastating one that really set him back. Anyways, last season for the Broncos, he rushed for 774 yards with 3 touchdowns. And with what could and should be a little bit better of an offense, I think his production will improve. Now moving over to the receivers, we all know that Jerry Jeudy was moved to the Cleveland Browns over this offseason, so that means Courtland Sutton will stay the clear-cut #1 guy. guy, and he wants a new contract. I already talked about this in a previous video about this team, but in a statement made at mandatory minicamp a few weeks ago via Mile High Sports, Sutton expressed a desire to stick with the team. He also set sky-high expectations, including a conversation of becoming a dynasty. I hope that I'm part of the bigger picture, Sutton said. I've been told that this is what the game plan is. I've also been told some other things. We will see what happens. I hope I am able to be a part of the game plan. I also don't see that it would be a soft reset. I'm praying and also working towards and hopefully staying in guys' ears that this is not going to be a 3-year process. We want to win right now. I don't see this being a 3 or 4 year process. If it becomes a 3 or 4 year dynasty, then I hope I will be a part of it. This is kind of a crazy thing to say at this point of where the Broncos are as a franchise, but obviously as a businessman, I think Sutton is just doing what he can to give himself the best chance to get that payday, because anyone would say the same thing for any team they play for. Anyways, moving on to the guys behind him, Josh Reynolds is the number 2 receiver on the depth chart, and after putting up 608 yards and 5 touchdowns last season, I think he will expand into a much bigger role given more opportunity in 2024. And then behind him is Marvin Mims, the 5'11", 182-pound receiver out of Oklahoma. And he has shown signs of potential, but he is still far from where he wants to be. And over at tight end, it will be Adam Troutman. Moving over to the defensive side of the ball, this side is really going to have to step up to make things easier on rookie QB Bo Nix. For the first time since the 2021 season, the Broncos defense returns the same play caller and same defensive system. On the field, Singleton believes that continuity is already paying dividends. It's incredible, Singleton said Tuesday. This is my first time in 5 years. The first 2 years I was in Philly was the only time I had the same defense 2 years in a row. It is night and day. How comfortable I feel every day out here coming in, it's not comparable. When it's a new scheme, you're still learning from square one. Singleton said a year ago the Broncos were still learning how to mesh the systems of former defensive coordinator and current defensive coordinator Vance Joseph. Though the defense struggled initially, the unit was able to turn things around to fuel a midseason 5-game winning streak via a slew of takeaways. Singleton also said the defense knows it must start faster in 2024, particularly with the uncertainty at the quarterback position. We know that we've got to start hot, Singleton said. Whoever is going to play quarterback is going to be a younger guy in the system, so we know what we need to do, and we have to prepare. We have been preparing like that, and we have to come into the rest of the summer knowing that and get ready to win football games. We're going to be better. Looking at the Broncos schedule, there is a lot of winnable games early on in the season, but as time goes on, it gets a lot harder. I really don't know how to say what the ceiling of this team is because there is still a lot of unknowns, but I think they are about to do what nobody expects. Let me know in the comments below what you think Bo Nix and Denver will do this season, and if you think this team could be in playoff contention. That's all I have to say for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.